How's it going out there, guys? Lane here with Bastion Black Performance, and we're going to talk today. We're going to do a little bit of shooting. We're going to do some point shooting, some target focus shooting, some front sight tip focus shooting, and some standard side alignment side picture shooting. And kind of came to this on Facebook. A bunch of my friends had some random articles and stuff, some point shooting versus sights and everything came up. So I figure, in my realm as a strength conditioning coach, we always have this saying, in the weight room, the iron never lies. So I figure I'm going to take 4, what I kind of identified as the main types of aimed or main methods of aimed shooting. I'm going to test them on the paper and see what we get for groups. So the first one we're going to have is just standard. So I'm going to use rear sight and front sight. Second one is going to be front sight tip only. The third one is going to be what they call aimed point shooting or target focus shooting, where the pistol is actually brought up under the line of sight and underneath the dominant eye, but the focus of the shooter is entirely on the target. The words that were used when I read about it were focus like a laser on the target. And the last one is going to be old school original point shooting, where we lace the trigger finger actually against the slide or the top of the frame there, and we squeeze the trigger with our second finger, with our middle finger, while we point at the target like I'd point at somebody out in the crowd there. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go from the 5-yard line. I'm going to go 5 rounds, slow fire for everything. I'm going to do 5 yards, 5 rounds of cadence fire with half-second splints. So that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with standard, using the rear sight and the front sight first, and work my way. I'm going to end with old school point shooting. That way nobody can say that, oh, well, you were more warmed up by the time that you shot standard and you were used to it. Haven't shot at all today, totally cold. I'm going to start standard. I'm going to work my way through front sight tip, target focus, and then through point shooting. And we're going to see what the paper says. Check it out, see what you guys think. So up first is just going to be standard, using the rear sight and the front sight. We're on the far left target. So I'm going to go with my slow fire, accurate, 5 rounds first. I'm going to shoot the target right below there then on that half-second cadence, 5 rounds. I'll work my way across. So we'll go standard, front sight tip only, target focus, and we'll end closest to the camera over here with our old school point shooting. Here we go. Okay guys, so up second we got front sight tip only. So I want to see if we can see this in the camera here. So I put a piece of tape over my rear sight because obviously I don't want to be accused of cheating and actually using the rear sight if this comes out better. So tape on the rear sight, we'll go front sight tip only. Okay guys, so now we're going with what's called aimed point shooting. So in this scenario, we do have our two-handed grip. The pistol is held under the dominant eye, but below the line of sight, and we focus intently on the target. So that, for me, it's going to be that center piece of tape. So again, so that I can't be accused of somehow rigging this in one direction or another, I put tape on my rear sight and my front sight. I'm not really sure if it's going to stay on my front sight while I'm shooting here, but that way can't use my sights at all whatsoever for this target focused aimed point shooting. Here we go. Okay guys, so we're going with the last one now. So we're going old school point shooting. So we go trigger finger straight along the slide. I'm actually going to be squeezing with my middle finger here. So what the idea is that you point your finger at the target just like you would point at a freaking deer out in a field or some crap like that. All right, so let's see how we can do here. Okay guys, I hope you can hear it. It's about 45-mile-an-hour wind right now, so it's gonna get off a little bit. So we'll start here. This is my first target, so this was slow fire using the sights. So we got extreme spread of about 1.5 inches from 5 yards, and when we drop it down to our rapid, it looks like extreme spread of about 2.5, maybe 3 on that. We come over here to our front sight tip only, and extreme spread is about 2 inches, maybe 1.75 on that, but actually a really good group there from 5 yards. And then we look down when we did rapid, it looks to be about the same size group, maybe definitely about 2 inches, maybe 2.25 on that. So honestly, I thought the front sight tip was way easier. It's so windy out right now that aligning both the front and rear is actually pretty tough, because like I said, it's about 45-mile-an-hour wind. So let's come over here. So here is the target focused point shooting. So as you can tell, kind of went in a straight line here. So I don't know, we're looking at about 4 inches of extreme spread on that, but kept them in line, which is just my body control and stance on that, doing that. And same thing, so when we pan down, I actually did better on the rapid fire. Looks to be about, what do we got there, about 2 of those, about 3 inches or so on that. So that's actually not too bad, but obviously it's not very centered on the target, which is exactly what you'd expect when you're not using your sights. So then come over here, and this is the one that actually surprised me the most when I was going old school point shooting. My first round was one of these, I think it was this one off here, but then I put a couple right in the tape. So extreme spread on that is about 8, maybe 9 inches or so, so not really that great. But come down here when I did the rapid fire on the half-second cadence, actually pretty good. Looking at about 5-6 inches or so there, but pretty well clustered. So I would say that's the big surprise of the day. So you guys check the video out, make your own conclusions on it.